Hi everyone, welcome to Zoom. I wanted to post a couple of video tutorials for you guys. Some assignments are going to be coming due in April. I wanted to make sure that everybody was familiar and knew how to use the Blackboard upload submission links for your assignments. But even before that, how to output out of Adobe InDesign properly for the PDF or a packaged and zipped folder. I'm going to use your festival poster as an example because that is coming up. I think we have a due date on that of 4/9. So I'm going to show you exactly where these things are in Blackboard, but also how to get them out of InDesign as you are completing work on them. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. So you can see me up here in the corner, and we can put this away. Here's our Blackboard shell right here. And if I open this up, I'm in the course content area. Okay, I'm going to be posting this video tutorial in here, but I'll also make an announcement with it so that you'll be able to see in both places how to do this. Okay, so, and I had done a little welcome course message there. It wasn't my greatest effort, but it is there welcoming you to online learning. Okay, so if I scroll down now, these items have been here all semester long, and I think we did get a chance before spring break to kind of look at this and go over this a little bit as to where to find your assignments and where to find these links, but I want to make sure that you're not completely lost in terms of out there on your own looking for where to get your work uploaded and graded. So the introduction PowerPoint is really just for the very beginning of the semester, and so is getting started in review items. These are Photoshop, Illustrator tutorials. There's a little bit of InDesign maybe in there as well. Where we're concentrated for the rest of the semester, for the last 3 remaining projects that you have, are number 2, liquid layouts and e-publishing. This is where your shapes layout was going, and your festival poster is in there as well. And then if I scroll down here, your visual themes is where we're going to begin to do some portfolio building together, okay? But that's in weeks to come. Once we get into April, we'll come back to this area here. So today I'm going to be right inside number 2, liquid layouts and e-publishing. If I click there, you're going to notice that there are some PowerPoints here for you to look at that pertain to composition and grid and good use of color. So that's just additional information in terms of designing. And then if I click on the assignments content area, this is really where you want to go to upload your work, okay? Any Shapes Magazine redos come right up to number 1. Your own version of a poster, a graphic novel, a poster, I already said poster, sorry, package design, irregular format, that goes here. Okay, and you have some additional information here in terms of ideas. There's a PowerPoint there from the Against the Clock textbook, and there's a PDF of the magazine layout editorial design project right here. So you do want to kind of scroll through and read what you can. in terms of getting supplemental material, but really these are your assignment links for uploading. So if I click on assignment 2, this is your own version, your own digital layout of whichever you choose to do. There's lots of options there, right, between the poster, the irregular format, graphic novel, and so forth. And I'm going to show a couple of examples of those in just a minute. But notice the due date, April 16th. You're going to browse your computer and find your PDF or your zipped package file, which I'm going to show you how to do in a second, and then upload it right there. Now, if I back up, the other item right beneath here is the festival poster. Here's all the files that you need in order to do the festival poster. This is a project right out of your textbook. And we began this in class before spring break. So I'm hoping that most of you will be able to do it with either your textbook or the handout that I gave, the Xerox copies. So in order to get a hold of these files, you're just going to click on them to download them to your computer and then compose the piece in InDesign. You may have to control click on the AI and the InDesign files in order to get them to download. Or it may be the other way around. You may have to control click on the JPEGs. I'm not sure, but experiment with that and get them downloaded so that you can work on them. So enough about Blackboard. Let's put this off to the side for a moment. We're going to come back there when we're ready to upload. I have my InDesign file here of the festival poster, and I want to show you and talk a little bit about outputting this file before we go too much further. So let me just adjust the window size here. So this is just the Against the Clockwork version of this poster, and as you can see, I don't have the right fonts. You really want to make some adjustments to your fonts. You probably won't have Onyx, that's the font that they're using for the headline here, but choose a nice kind of bold sans serif style font. You can go underneath your filters and ask for sans serif, and then choose a sans serif from the list. And of course, you'll want to make sure that it has a nice boldness to it. Okay, so oh, that didn't take. Come back here. Arial black is always pretty standard, right? It comes bold. You want to have control over the word spacing and the letter spacing. So you're just going to kind of follow the directions in that handout and in your textbook. But if I wanted to adjust this, I would look for the tracking area here and kind of put in the correct adjustment there. That Arial black is maybe a little bit too bold at that point size. So bringing it down, here's 48, and that's too small. So somewhere in between, right? And then checking the tracking as we go. Let's see, it's got some weird sort of spacing set up in here that it's totally justified. So I'm going to turn off justified and put it on the flush left alignment to work with that a little bit better. And then you're just spacing this out so that it makes sense. Maybe 55 point is a little bit better, and then playing with whether or not that's centered in the area in the across the top here where this is falling, right? So at any rate, when you've completed the instructions for the festival poster and made any kind of adjustments that you need to make font-wise, you should be ready to output out of InDesign and upload into Blackboard with both the festival poster and your version of this assignment, you know, depending on what you choose to do. So from here, I'm going to do a file and a save as. Always save your work before you PDF or export. Put your own name on the work, shift underscore, and then whatever the project is. In this case, this is the festival poster. Okay, and then I'm going to go out to my desktop, okay, to save this. And then I'm ready to PDF. So back to File, Export, and instead of print, I mean, normally we would be using the Adobe print formatting, but because we're totally online now and you want to be concerned with bandwidth and uploading through Blackboard, just go ahead and choose the Adobe PDF Interactive. Don't worry about print. And I'm going to save that. Now, it opens up the dialog box for exporting the PDF. Right along the top here, it's got export as pages, which is fine for the festival poster because it's a single page. For anything like a graphic novel layout, if that's what you choose to do for the second part of this assignment, then you probably want to choose spreads by clicking here. That's going to show us 2 pages side by side. Okay, so I'm exporting as a single page for the festival poster, and really you don't need to check anything else. It's going to format that completely for you. So I'm just going to hit export there and click OK. It's telling me about missing fonts, but once you adjust your fonts, you shouldn't have any problem because you're going to be using the fonts that are in your own computer. If you happen to download some free fonts and double click on them to install them and you want to use those for this project, that's fine too. You can check out Adobe Typekit. As long as you collect them all and install them on your computer, the PDF shouldn't have any problem using them. And then this little box is just the warning here is telling me that I'm using a CMYK because that's what the poster is set up for. It's set up to print. And really that the document now going to an interactive PDF is an RGB space. So that's fine. It's going to convert it. Click OK. And here we are with my version of the Summer Indie Rock Festival poster as a PDF. It comes up immediately and saves it to the desktop. Now, for this assignment, for the festival poster, that's all you need. Just upload the PDF. It will be fine. I'll show you, in a minute how to do that. But for your own version of the assignment, whether a poster, a package design, a regular format, whatever you choose to do, you may want to capture the entire package of the assignment and zip that. So how do I do that? Come back to File. When you're in InDesign, back to File, come down to the bottom, Package. Make sure it's collecting all your fonts. Notice that it's telling me up here there's a little yield sign. I've got some fonts that are missing. Yes, I know that because I don't have the ATC fonts. But if you have properly formatted and put in your own fonts, you shouldn't have that yield sign there. It's got all the links, and I'm ready to package. Save your publication. Make sure your name is on it. It's picking up the previous name that I had placed on the file when I saved it before. It's copying the fonts, the links. It's creating an IDML and a PDF. Don't need a high quality print here. Normally, if we were printing this on paper, we would, but choose the smallest file size. That way we're ensuring that this is going to show up okay, not a long upload time in terms of Blackboard. So smallest file size, go ahead and hit package. Don't worry about the restrictions. These are just copyrights that it's talking about there. tells you that it wants some fonts. That's fine in this case. So click OK until you see it begin to work, and it will. It'll create that package and put it right out here on your desktop. I've just pulled InDesign out of the way. Here's my festival poster area. Here's the package folder. Always packages end up in a folder. Hold your control key down on your keyboard, click on the folder, and go to compress. And that should zip the folder for you. And this is what you would be uploading, the zip file, and alternatively the PDF file. Okay, so now where do we go to upload these files when we're in Blackboard? Well, for the festival poster, I'm in assignments. I'm in the number 2 iconic logo, and I'm down below assignment 2 digital layout variations, which is of course your version. And I'm going to click on festival poster, and here is the assignment link. Always the links are underlined, so you just click on them. Again, this is due April 9th by 11:59 p.m. And just scroll down to where it says browse my computer to attach some files, and you're going to come out to your own desktop, and you're going to find your festival poster, either the PDF or the zip. I'm going to show you the zip because I want you to translate that to that you may want to do that for your own version of this assignment, okay? So just click on the zip file. That's what it looks like. Hit choose, and you'll see that it appears in the area down below where it says attached files, and then go ahead and hit submit. Now, when you're signed in to the student view, it's going to attach whatever you place there into the gradebook under your name for that assignment. It's not doing it for me because I'm not signed in as a student, but it shouldn't give you a problem. If it does, just email me and let me know what's going on, and we'll figure it out together. But that should work for you. So lastly, I want to come back out to my course content area and back to number 2, liquid layouts, and the assignment folder, and just make sure that you understand that the second, your version of this assignment goes here, assignment number 2, digital layout variations. This is not due until April 16th, mid-April. We are going to be, at that point, focusing on the final presentation, which is your portfolio online using Weebly, Wix, WordPress, Adobe Portfolio, or anything that really is going to be template driven and providing you a place to categorize and organize your creative work. And you're going to be providing the link to those sites to me as your final in the class. So you really have 3 things due in the next 4 to 5 weeks, and they are your own version of a digital layout, and the festival poster, and finally the portfolio. So those are the 3 items. And this is where you would come to the assignment number 2 to upload your own version here. And so this is the assignment link. And you can see there's a couple of things attached here, even under the assignment, for make sure that you've looked at to get some sort of grounding in this assignment. A couple of slides from the ATC textbook. There is a CAC brochure. It's I think it's an art museum type of brochure. There's a magazine layout PDF. So these things are actually attached to this particular assignment. You would just download them and look at them if you want to. Okay, so in terms of well, let me just make sure that you understand. You just browse your computer right there and upload right there through the assignment link and hit submit. Okay, so I'm going to stop my sharing and come right back out and make this a little bit larger. I want you all to know that I am still doing the online virtual office hours. So tomorrow, Tuesday at 3 p.m., if you want to sign into Zoom and meet with me for any questions or anything, you can do that. That'll be on a weekly basis. I may have a department meeting on the first week of April, not this week when we switch into April by Wednesday, but the next week, the first Tuesday of April, I should say. But I'll let you know if anything changes in terms of those office hours as we go forward. So let's talk a little bit about your ideas for graphic novel, right? I've got a whole stack of, I'm just moving around my, my little dining room here. I've got a whole stack of items to sort of hopefully inspire you. I got this from Saatchi Art. You probably, maybe some of you have looked at this website. This is a collection where artists can actually sell their work. And so this is a printed piece from that website. But again, go to saatchiart.com or just Google them. So you can get a look at a portfolio site. Really, it's a gallery for artists, and see how that is set up. Okay, lots of great work there, and nice place. So what else do I have here? I should have put these up here on my table, but I'm not that organized, guys. This is really tough, isn't it? Doing work over the video, over the internet. I've got here the Graphic Designer's Guide to Portfolio Design. I would have shown you these, of course, in class, handing them around, but what you might want to do in lieu of getting a lot of textbooks from me to look at in terms of creating your portfolio, you might want to Google best designer portfolios. What you're going to find is a whole bunch of those. In fact, I'll probably put a link on your Blackboard site if I haven't already done that. I'll have to go look through visual themes. I may already have a link there. That's what's coming up in terms of the visual themes assignment, okay? But for the variations, number 2, you may want to consider doing your own version of a poster. What should that poster be? Well, it could be a movie poster, right? This is the Independent Movie Poster Book. This is Uma Thurman from Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino. And so there's lots of sites online that you could look at. You could Google film posters. It's a whole genre in and of itself, right? You might consider doing a poster more along the lines of propaganda. That's a whole, or protest. That's a whole rich area of poster design historically. If poster is not your cup of tea, and you think you might want to do a graphic novel, comic book, do at least 1 to 2 spreads. That means 4 pages, right? Because a spread is 2 pages side by side. And this is the Avengers, Black Panther. So what else do I have here? Just examples of, I had these on my cart. You may have seen them actually, just examples of different graphic novel styles. There is a LibGuide actually at the MCC library online. I will try to get that link on your visual themes for the graphic novel section loaded into the library. This is a student work, actually from a couple of semesters ago, along the lines of Sin City, which I think I have here. Frank, is it Frank Miller? Yes, right? Sort of, so you can take sort of inspiration and ideas from looking at other great artwork. I have this whole textbook. Sorry, you can't even see this. Let's go like that. Okay, and this book actually shows a technique, how it was done, green screen wise for the film as well, right? Okay, so let's say that was not your cup of tea, that you actually wanted to do something more along the lines of irregular format. How about snowboards? Oh, I hope these aren't coming out backwards. I don't. They're. It's maybe I don't have my screen mirroring on. I'm not sure. Skateboard, snowboards. Okay, pick a shape that is not a rectangle, and then can you design type image to that shape, right? Snowboards, longboards, skateboards, very edgy graphic style. You can do a lot in terms of patterning, texture, bold colors, interesting type designs. Okay, so that might be one example of where you head with this, your version of that, this next assignment after you do the festival poster. So package design is also an option because, again, if we think about irregular format, when you're designing, this is just a square little box, but when you're designing around the shape of something, how does the type go around the corner? How does the image or pattern or graphic? You might decide to do a bag, a shopping bag. Last semester I had a student do a wonderful series on shopping bags, reusable shopping bags. I have a lot more stuff here on my floor. Hold on a second. I want to show you, this is more graphic novel, comic strip. That's the dialogues. This is kind of an interesting setup. This is a velocity of being, and it's basically letters on one side and then images on the other, but it has some sort of comic strip style in there as well. Of course, you do not have to do a whole big book like that, just a few spreads. And remember, think about the format of your book, right? Maybe you want to do just a regular signature fold, which is taking a piece of paper and folding it in half the long way, and that's a booklet, basically. I would recommend doing a dummy book first if you are doing some sort of graphic novel spread, so you can see which page is going to fall next to the next page. And basically you're doing a very simple spread. Don't get too complicated with it, but do consider, here's an example of an accordion fold. Oops, a little cutting going on there. Oh my. An accordion fold book, which is supposed to, you know, come open on two sides, right? It's got the front and the back. What else do I have here? Oh, more graphic novels, comics. Let's see. I think that's good. I had some. These are examples from the MCC library. I did have these ready to share with you. Some great graphics. I hope that you all are finding some time. I know I have heard from some of my students that they're actually still working, if they're in the restaurant industry or any of the frontline industries with their jobs, essential jobs. So I know it's tough, and I know some of you may have actually been laid off or are out of work right now. I hope that you can find some time to focus on just completing your schoolwork for this semester. We just want to help you complete and get through the end, okay? So this is children's picture books. You might look at children's books to get inspired, and maybe you have a favorite book from your own childhood that you might want to emulate in terms of if you're going to do something along the line of laying out a couple of spreads. So remember, for the digital variations, the assignment, the second part of the assignment, after you do the festival poster, you can choose to do one of the following, right? An irregular format, which might include package design, a graphic novel, which would include a couple of spreads, or a poster yourself, your own kind of poster for an event, a film, maybe a music festival, but you're of your own making, okay? Please let me know if you have any questions as we continue on, and I hope that all of you are staying healthy and well. As you can see, I'm doing fine. My cats are driving me crazy, but okay, I'm going to end this meeting and share this video with you. Take care, everybody.